Hello, photo class. So I've got a video I want to share with you today on how to basically use blending modes in a variety of ways for to do some really cool creative stuff with your photography. So blending modes are great. They're a really easy way to generate some really unusual effects. So for very little minimal work, the work really is in taking good photos and and having good resources to work with to do this stuff with. So, but the process of doing this stuff in Photoshop is actually really easy. So, first off, I'm going to show you how to make a cyanotype. Not a real cyanotype, but a digital cyanotype. Cyanotype is actually one of the things that we do. Why I miss, that we're doing this online instead of in the classroom, because for doing cyanotypes, what we do is that we take one of our digital photographs and we generate a negative in Photoshop and apply a correction curve to it to get a really good negative for doing the chemical process of cyanotype, where you basically sensitize a piece of watercolor paper with some chemicals and you expose it to light. You may have done this when you were a kid. They made these little sun kit blueprint kits, but you could do a much more sophisticated version of it using better quality materials. But instead of being able to do that in person, I'm going to show you how to do a kind of a version using blending modes. And so, but just so you see what a cyanotype looks like, this I've actually got this open in Photoshop. This is just a screen grab from Google image search of cyanotypes. And so you can look these up on your own if you want to see what historical cyanotypes look like and learn a little bit more about the history of them. Actually an old 19th century process. And in the fall, when you get back from, hopefully everything goes back to normal in the fall when we're back in school, if you want to come by and try out doing cyanotype, you can do that. I'd be happy to show you how to do that, for real instead of doing the fake digital version. So I'm going to go ahead and toss out that layer. And so, all right, so the next step, I want to show you how I arrived at this. So this is basically one of the photos that I've taken, one of the numerous backyard flower photos that I've taken. And so I'm going to show you how to do this process of applying an interesting border too later on in the lesson. But anyway, so this is a black and white photo I've already edited. You guys know how to edit in black and white, so you already know how to get to this stage. So I'm not going to reteach you how to do that. And so all I've done here is underneath, I've just made a blue layer. And so if you want to make a blue layer, all you have to do is just go up to Layer, hit New Layer, hit OK. And I'm going to turn this layer off so you can't see it. And so if I want to turn this layer blue, the easiest way I know how to do it is just grab the paint bucket tool and then choose a shade of blue that you like. There we go. You can slide this color thing up to change the shades of blue, and then move around in there for gray blues up to like much more pure pristine blues. And then just click the button on the paint bucket tool, and now you've got a nice blue layer. So I'm going to go ahead and toss that in the trash because I already had one. But that's how you make that layer. And so I'm going to turn this layer on underneath, and then I'm going to turn the layer on over the top. And normally there's not a blend mode applied. So right now, let's turn this back on to just normal. So in normal, basically your blend mode is just that your opacity level. So I can turn the opacity down and head on downwards from there. And so that's one way of blending. So my blending is just normal, and it's based on how opaque it is. And if it's fully opaque, that means you can't see through it. So it's just like that. And so if you want to do blending modes, there's a number of them here. And basically it's easy because you can just hold your mouse over the different options until you find one that you like. So yeah, there's some really unusual ones popping up there. So there may be some of these that you like that you want to try out for yourself. And this version called Hard Light, that looks pretty good. And so I could keep going. Ooh, the linear light version gives you a really rich, deep cyanotype look.